Hello and welcome back to our Introduction to OpenBIS. In this tutorial we'll briefly discuss personal access tokens that are a replacement or substitute or alternative to session tokens in OpenBIS. So remember, if we want to use the OpenBIS system, we either need to log in into the web system or use session tokens, and those tokens can also be retrieved after we've logged in from the user profile. There, where the red arrow is, there's then a long alphanumeric string, and that is essentially a short-lived replacement for your username and password. So that means that we can use these session tokens to run and script in a command line interface and so on, but we need to be aware that anyone with a string can act on our behalf. So for security, these are only valid for a short time, and you should never expose this information to any other people. Of course, the drawback of this approach is that these session tokens are only valid for a very short time. That is good for security, but quite inconvenient for frequent usage, longer running scripts and so on. So OpenBIS provides an alternative, the so-called personal access tokens. They are essentially similar to session tokens, but have a much longer validity period of about a month. As this has more implications in security, they can only be created via OpenBIS API or scripts, which is what we discuss here, and they cannot be created via the web interface. So how do you create such a personal access token? Again, get the information from the relevant repository, build your local environment, and then you can use the following script. It's called generate OpenBIS PAT. And you need a session token for it. It doesn't accept personal access tokens. So you first need to obtain a valid session token from the web user interface, and then you can run the script without parameters. That defaults to the default OpenBIS instance in the CRC, and then you will get a list of all relevant personal access tokens that are currently active for you. If you want to create a new personal access token, you use the same script, but now you specify -name and you give this personal access token a descriptive name. Remember that these are only to be created outside the web GUI, and they can only be created if you already have a session token. So if you have already an old personal access token, you still need a session token to create a new personal access token. And again, to remind you, anyone with access to your session token or personal access token can act on your behalf. So never, ever, 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 ever store any token in a file, use it in a Jupyter notebook or anything, or any other means where information can be persisted or locked into a version control system, because this information is very difficult to get rid of. So always use it very sensibly, like you would use, for example, your personal credit card information.